Hi, we're Maddie and Nico, and we are turning this empty cargo van into this tiny home on wheels. We have no building experience, but we'll take you along each step as we transform our 2020 Ford Transit van.
Today we're going to be installing our solar on top of our Flatline Van Co. roof rack. So how you mount to these 80-20 cross beams, you got these carriage bolts. Slide it in this channel. And just so you know, you have to slide these in to this channel before you can mount your crossbar. We have these carriage bolts. All of this is stainless steel. This is a 5/16 washer on top of the carriage bolt, and then the solar is going to mount here, and then I have another stainless steel washer on top of that, and then we got stainless steel hex nuts with a little nylon lock, so it won't be going anywhere.
We had our roof rack installed already, so we had to detach the crossbars from the side rails. If we did this again, I would install the crossbars once we were ready to install our solar panels on our roof. Also, on our particular roof rack, we had to make sure the crossbar was in the furthest back position in order to fit both of our solar panels.
Now that this beam is positioned in the furthest back position, we just need to figure out how far to position the other cross beam away from this one, so that way we can mount our solar panel. So now I am just gonna measure between these two brackets to see how far apart they are, so we know how far apart we need to space our cross beams on our roof rack. About 29.5.
Thought these would line up with our bars that we just adjusted, but they're just the tiniest bit off. So we couldn't adjust the bars anymore, so we're drilling the holes just a touch bigger so the bolt holes can go through. Alright, the last thing I need to do for these solar panels is just tighten these bolts down. Then they'll be good and stay in place, not bounce around, and I'll be done. Alright guys, I just put on the second solar panel, same steps as before. Now our next step is going to be putting on our roof gland, and I think I'm going to put it right there. Again, our roof is dented, so it has a slight curve to it, so this is one of the flatter spots. Originally I wanted to put it through one of these holes because there wouldn't be any drilling required because there's a hole already in there. You just peel this back, but we have our roof rack in the way. Not that big of a deal. We'll just drill some holes from the bottom up and then urethane this down. Maybe we'll put some lap sealant on it later, but I don't think it'll be necessary. So the first step of this for the roof gland is going to be cleaning the roof. I just put some Dawn dish soap in this, which doesn't have any wax. So if you're cleaning to prep to glue something down, don't use anything that has a automotive car wax within the soap, because you don't want that there. Okay, so I just got up on the roof and I had Maddie down in here. I placed this up top where we want it, and then I had her kind of poke up on the metal so I knew she was in the right spot, and I came in here and marked it with a Sharpie. So those are going to be my drilling point, my center point. And originally I thought I was going to drill just one hole, but Ace Hardware didn't have the grommet I needed, so I got two smaller ones, so we're drilling two holes. We'll use this stepping drill bit to drill our holes and then file and paint them and then put the grommets in. Okay, on second thought, one of these is big enough. I just tested it. These are two 10 gauge wire and they fit through that one grommet. So we're just gonna drill one hole, make it easy. Okay, I just test fitted my grommet. It fits perfectly. We're just gonna take it back out, clean up some metal shavings, and now paint this hole for some rust prevention. Okay, before we glue this down to the roof, since the hole that's gonna be right here in the roof is pretty small, I thought it would be much easier to route these through the solar gland before gluing it down, and then actually routing it through the hole and then gluing it down. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what it looks like.
Great. I am putting pressure now on the thing.
Welcome to the lesson learned section of the video, where we go over everything that we learned in the process of making this video and building out our van, as well as what has worked and what hasn't worked for us since we installed our solar panels. Most of this will have to do with the install because solar has been working fine. So, first tip is to plan out the space for where your panels will go before you buy panels. And it's really important to do this, and also to note the dimensions of the roof rack that you will buy if you're going to mount them on a roof rack. We originally bought solar panels from Renogy, and they were just going to barely not fit the way we wanted them to with our Flatline Vanco roof rack. So what we ended up doing is we sold those panels because it was too late to return them, and we bought new panels from New Power. And we're really happy with those panels. They work fine. Those are the ones we will be linking below since they fit our roof rack. We still used the kit from Renogy for mounting, so we will link that kit as well.
And we never mentioned this in the video, but those panels are 200 watts each, so we have 400 watts of solar total. As you saw in the video, when we attached our wire gland, the thing that covers the hole you have to drill in your ceiling to the roof of the van, we did it after we installed the panels. 10 of 10 would not recommend this. I would totally do this in the opposite order that we did and install the gland with your wires through it and then put your solar panels on. Also, instead of drilling a hole, I believe Far Out Ride makes a gland that fits in one of the factory holes, like I mentioned in the video. So I would maybe look into that too if you don't want to drill a hole. Drilling a hole isn't really that big of a deal, but you could avoid it.
Okay, the next tip is to put your carriage bolts in place before mounting your crossbars. That's because you can't have your crossbars mounted before you put in your carriage bolts. That's because the bolts won't slide into the crossbars unless they are free on the ends.
Going off that, if you don't have your roof rack installed yet, do all this at once. We installed the roof rack, we had to take it apart basically, undo everything, put it back together multiple times. So if you're gonna get a roof rack, just buy your solar panels, figure that out, and do it all at once. Okay, one thing I didn't show in this video is all the frustration that I had when locking down the nylon lock nuts. I was just about done with the last set of the Z-bracket on the last panel, and I over tightened one of the lock nuts and it pretty much severed the entire carriage bolt, which meant I had to take every bolt off, take the solar panel off, then take the crossbar off again to slide out that broken carriage bolt. So I had to redo it. And then I did that again. So I did it twice, which was really frustrating. It took way longer than it should have. So just be careful. Don't do what I did and learn from me, and do not over tighten things.
Okay, that covers it for our lessons learned. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and do that. We appreciate your support so much. We will be coming out with new videos either every Sunday or every other Sunday. I know we've been a little bit busy lately, so this video is a bit later. We apologize for that. We've just had a lot going on, but we will get back into the swing of things, and we will see you in the next video.
We are going to Patagonia soon, so I apologize if the videos are late.
True.